Okay, so this is part 3 of mission number 8 in the Northern Fury campaign. Um, okay, and give you a quick reminder of where we are. So the Soviets, it's 1994. The Soviets have invaded through Norway, and I'm just going to try and fix this error it spotted. Um, there we go. Yeah, I can see it now. And I've basically beaten the crap out of me in the last 7 missions or so. Finally started to turn the tide in the last mission, and we're now sort of 3 hours in. Um, I've fought off an anti-shipping missile strike on my Lightning, on my HMS Invincible fleet here, but it looks like they're not had enough. They're sending some Su-24s. I'm just in the middle of fighting those off. Meanwhile, we've found a sub on the other side here, so we're going to go in. We're on the way to engage that with both an ASW, an S3 Viking carrying torpedoes, and equally one of my subs has turned to engage it. It's a bit of a fucker, this one, because he carries cruise missiles. We definitely don't want him getting anywhere near the USS Enterprise, which is down here. And for some reason, the Soviets were sending MiG-31 interceptors down on this sort of trajectory. I guess they were coming down here to engage either these civilian aircraft, because they've got an extremely long range, or potentially looking to engage my ASW P3s that are circling, protecting the inventory convoy that's just been shipping across to Europe. So to remind you, we've got the French doing an ASW shipping, ASW patrol here. Got some British Nimrods patrolling in this area. I'm just going to fix this mission, which has somehow managed to get screwed up since the last time I played. No idea how it did that. The joys of command, huh? So if you get if you get it crossed like that, the AI gets screwed up. They can't work out where they're flying, basically. But I didn't do that, so the game's done that. Very strange. Basically, that's a patrol box for my ASW Nimrod, one that's up there. So when I had to save last time, when the kids came home, we were middle of gauging these Su-24s. So we'll kick it off and see how the F-15s and Tornadoes do. There's a couple of Phantoms up there as well. So we've got 3 missiles in the air. All AMRAAMs coming off of this group of F-15s, 2 F-15s there. They've been really successful so far. They've only missed 1 out of the 9 they fired. Good kill. As usual, I've forgotten to set the fucking volume. Christ, it's too loud. This game, every time it sets it to a stupid level. There we go. And before anyone asks, doesn't matter what you set it to in game, it goes back. It's almost like these guys don't even know we're there, because they're not evading or anything. What I am going to do is have this group just make sure that they are actually still attacking. It looks like they'd only instructed to engage the first ones I spotted. Same with these ones possibly, because a few more appeared out of nowhere. What we'll do is we'll put this guy on a slightly lower altitude. Yeah, it looks like he's going back up again. Okay, it's possible these guys are coming in low, which is why they're sort of disappeared off the radar. I don't think it's possible I won't be able to see him in them. It's a little bit oh, there we go, missile lock, there we go. Yeah, just a reminder as well, we've got a British Trafalgar class skipping in to try and get ahead of the Soviet fleet, which I have ID'd. Now I don't know what any of those are yet. I don't think I do. I think potentially there's more here, because there seems to be a lot of launches of Su-33s, which is obviously the carrier-borne interceptors coming out of here. So this could be a picket, in which case, to be honest with you, depending on what it is, I might not engage them. If it's just destroyers, I'll leave them. The key objective for this is to kill the carriers and kill the missile cruisers. It may well be there's a missile cruiser in there and they're getting supported, and then behind it there'll be something nasty. Yeah, and again. Computer decides to do weird shit. If anybody knows how to fix this as well, it really pisses me off. Every time I have to fucking set it. Oh, basic things are first world problems. It's a lot of quite confusing radar at the moment. I'm tempted to see if I can turn some of these off. I'm not sure how to turn off some of these ambiguous ones because they're a real pain in the arse, to be honest with you. Makes things really hard to see. Still more coming in. This guy's probably exhausted himself. He's only got sidewinders now, so we will use those. Although he's obviously going to have to get a lot closer. Interesting, the missiles can probably see them, even though we can't. Oh, there they are, right. Yeah, proving hard to find at the moment. Still coming in, still C-24 fences. Missed one there. These are a godsend, these AMRAAMs. Previous missions had very little access to these. I've been relying upon Sparrows and Sidewinders, especially in Norway. The guys are equipped with really export versions of all the weapons as well. Oh, they struggle, man. Absolutely struggled. I did end up cheating a bit. I mean, I know the whole point of the first mission is just to show you getting the absolutely butt kicked by the Soviets, but I got fed up after the second playthrough, and I put a few Patriot missile systems down just to prove a point. I can't believe the Soviets. There was a load of Americans there. Why the hell they wouldn't base some sort of SAM system there? I've got no idea. It was really annoying just to get totally demoralising to know the mission you're going to be playing for sort of 7-8 hours and just getting your ass handed to you the whole time. So the Patriots managed to put a bit of a balance in, and even those aren't bulletproof. You should quickly run out of those. This is a Sky Flash, you can tell because it's been launched. It has to be actively guided. Again, I'll keep coming back to that. It's such a pain in the arse. There's another one going off. I don't know what these guys are targeting. I suspect, because remember I placed these manually, these were put in at the start of the mission. These guys might, the missions that are built into the maybe a proper, sort of sea patrol in which they would have detected these and then attack. It may be a bit more scripted than that, and that they're designed to fly and engage these air bases which were there on the original mission. But looking at the vector, I think, which is great, I'm really pleased. They actually looks like they're engaging my fleet, which is great. It gives me a bit more interactivity. I didn't want to just put it there and have it sort of just do nothing. And the reason I placed it, if you remember rightly, is just because it was still there at the end of the last mission. I just felt silly to not have a little bit of continuation. The way this game works, you kind of start from scratch each time. The campaigns don't carry on. So if you lose a fleet, you get it back next mission. But doubly, if you were managing to kill the enemy fleet each time, and I've been killing it ever since mission 1, really, up here, eventually. And every single mission is getting further and further through, and it's getting frustrating and frustrating. So I've tended to edit it slightly to give me a little bit of a chance. Right, I'm conscious this guy's getting awfully close now. And technically, I could do a launch against these. He's probably within SAM range now, but I haven't seen anything yet. So I could really do with getting a fix on where those ships are now. Let's grab my RAF AEW and see if we can shift him a bit west. Where is he? There he is. He's on his way. what we'll do is we'll just speed him up a little bit and just see if we can get a little bit of coverage before my... What we'll do is we'll just have that guy loiter here for a sec. He'll just sit there in the same, roughly same position now, just circling until we get a decent radar fix. And we can try and get some sea eagles away. I've got another one coming up as well. Initially, sea eagles are likely to get knocked out of the sky, but having said that, he's got quite close without getting detected, so we might get lucky. I only need to put a few hits onto the core capital ships, and it might just slow the fleet down enough that will really help my subs. I think those guys are doing a good job with the flat fences. How many have we got left to go? There's a few left to engage still. Just going to make sure everything's been accounted for. Shit. Should be all of them accounted for in theory. A little bit careful, this guy's low and in front of these guys. I don't want them to get engaged. Sometimes they do carry AA. Looks like they're climbing out. Yeah, typical. Just what I said, we got fucking launched now. It's stupid of him. This is why you have to micromanage these things. They're not very intelligent. They're the AI, the sort of like the Top Gun flight school doesn't exist in my command. Fingers crossed he'll be able to invade. Alright, let's get these guys behind these guys. So I'm going to take them off the mission. That cancels the target. And hopefully get him to turn behind them. There we go. This guy's gone live with his radar, so we definitely need to kill him quick. He's at 2,000 feet. Have this guy engage that guy there. Amram's a fire forget, remember, so that's great. Right, okay, these guys are now behind these guys, which means I should be able to get good missile lock with the sidewinders. There we go. Fox 1, or whatever it is. Fox 2, I think, for infrared. Interesting, he's ignored that one again. Why they do that? I've got no idea. Is when you clearly asked it to target both. They're in at 300 feet. Yeah, these are they're on a strike profile now. So what we want to avoid is any missiles getting launched. He's gone afterburner. Oh, he says he has. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Not really quite sure why the fuck they're not accelerating. Oh, now they've gone afterburner. Weird. It's possible that the AI is confused. There's so much going on, it's making funny decisions. I don't know. It happens in other games, so maybe it's doing the same in this. This guy's probably 480 knots. These guys are doing 650 knots. They should be nicely catching now. I need to get a decent signature on him. Right, it looks like we got a live hit there. That's a live fix on that ship. I'm just quickly going to check my sub. What's going on over here? Okay, we're still a few miles away. C-24. $300 knots. Probably a recon of some sort, maybe a fueler. Come on. I can't believe you can't get locked. Just in case they're doing stupid stuff. Yeah, why aren't they firing? It's not set to be short range. I don't know why. Again, maybe it's the AI. Maybe the AI is struggling. Because he was within range and I automatically got a shot straight away. Or it's that there was a missile coming in at it already. No, fine. That's probably what it was. I probably just wasted a shell. Never mind. Right, I'm going to send these guys back to base anyway because... Let's just make sure these guys are taken out because these guys might be low on missiles as well. No, we've got loads, that's fine. I'll send these guys back to base. Alright, flash traffic. So the lead F-15s which were on ferry from Louisiana have flown to Thule already. Right, I'm kind of surprised because they were miles away. Holy shit, they got there already. Blimey. Wow, 3 hours, okay. I'm surprised. Okay, there's not actually any there yet, but they're almost there. Fine, the scripting's just kicked in early. What we're going to do with these guys, as soon as they're up, I'm going to get them on a cap over here. I think. Quite how I'm going to fuel them is a different issue, mind you. Okay, so I've got some KC-135s, which is 50 years old today or yesterday, I think. It'd be interesting to know. 1956 that aircraft first flew, amazingly. So for 50 years that has been actively servicing NATO activity. Obviously it's slightly upgraded since then, but right, we're going to put those on a mission up here somewhere as soon as these guys are ready. Let's kill the last of these fences. We've had a pretty good run of it so far. We've not lost. I don't think we've lost anything. Nothing yet. That's quite unusual, to be fair, in these missions. They're normally seriously hardcore. See, not a good result. These sky flashes are just not effective. And it could be the way I'm using them because they've been head on. I don't know. Obviously you want to try and always get your aircraft behind, but these guys aren't even evading, so it doesn't look like they are anyway. It's just spoofing. Yeah, they're trying to spoof it, they're jamming it, but they're all failing. It's just the missile is not hitting. And the reason I leave these up is because it gives me a clue what the hell's happened. It's cheating a bit because you get to see what you're attacking, but you can see. So the final probability of hit is 63%, and the dice roll was 86, which meant we lost. So there's only a 63% of actually chance of hitting it, this missile, given the circumstances, angle, speed, skill level, etc. Be fascinating to know what effect a slow mission has on that, whether the AI routines are slowed down. Like in Arma 3, if you start to if the server starts to slow down, the AI act like idiots basically. So I wonder if it's the same with this. See, they're just not getting effective hits. There we go. 20 hit final hit ratio, 20%. So it's almost pointless launching them at that angle. I read an interesting stat last night. The Su-27s versus MiG-29s in the Eritrean War in the early 2000s. Both Russian jets, obviously flown by Russian mercenaries at each other, and out of something like 50 missiles launched, only one managed to get close enough to cause a bit of fragmentation damage on this on a MiG-29. There we go. That was a sidewinder launch, got it straight away. So the idea of one shot, one kill with these missiles is unlikely. There we go. They've fucking got a lock on me now. That'll be a heat-seeking launcher, which I can't dodge. These guys are going to have to bug out. Sometimes I help these guys. Who knows? Let's just make sure he's gone full speed, and let's whack him out of there. We might be about to lose our first jet here. Got away. Alright. We're going to park. Oh, they've got 5 sidewinders left. We'll give it a little while. 6 sidewinders left. We'll put those guys back on the cap because they're still potentially useful. RAF bar cap. Sending him back to base. RTB. These guys have got AMRAAM still there. Going to go back to the cap. And the reason I take them off the cap is I just find it's not that reliable to leave them on the mission. You just don't get the speed of response. Unit orders, side cap. We're going to put this guy on Navy cap because he's patrolling a bit further north. I'm just going to double check those missions have a refuel set. So RAF bar cap. Allow air refueling. Yep, 250 miles and the Navy cap. Yeah, fine. So they can refuel themselves. See, that's fucked up as well. So something to do with saving the mission file. These areas get screwed up. I have no idea why it does that. Weird. Right, I could try and engage some of these. But there's a lot of other aircraft up there, and if they decide to go after me, some of those scary looking Su-33s, I'm going to have a hard time fighting those. AMRAAMs can do it, but right, I'm going to have a crack at this. See if I can get a missile away. What we're going to do is we're going to push one each Sea Eagle. At the target. And the reason I do one each is because I'm hoping to get a launch at exactly the same time, make it a little bit harder for them to engage. And what we're going to do is we're going to plot the course so that the weapon doesn't go hot until right in front of it, something like that. And the reason you do that is because otherwise the weapon will go live somewhere like here, broadcast, hello, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and they just get engaged and fucked. So we'll do that like that. That will now launch when I turn him to face this direction. There we go, we've got an identical launch at the same time, and I can turn it back. Okay, that's great. Let's just see what we can do. Now these guys are going to go hot with the radar, so we do need to back him out of there. So I'm just going to make sure he's bugging out. Now chances are I could have launched a couple of missiles at the other aircraft as well, but making sure they're going to get there at identically the right same time is quite tricky. You maybe get your aircraft here and shoot 2 sets. Again, the reason you do that is because when these guys do go live with their MCON, it gets turned off. So they're going to go live with their electronic basically to try and detect that attack. um, they often spot the other missiles real fast, and then you don't catch the ODA loop, which is they kind of have a observe, detect, react, and attack sort of loop. I think it's called the OADA loop, something like that. And they shortcut it because they get alerted real quick, and then you lose the other set of missiles. They get engaged. Fingers crossed those will go in real stealth attack. They won't see it coming, and it will be good night, Ivan, or at least a damaged ship, and get him out of the way. Because once they're crippled and they're on their own, they're a lot easier to manage. It's when they're in a whole group like this, they're almost impossible to manage. What we'll do is we'll push this guy down south a bit, and then we'll try and engage this picket here, so that my sub can get in nice and close to whatever these juicy ones are in the middle, because I assume these are either going to be tankers, fuelers, missile cruisers, or capitals of some sort. This guy's shipping along in the thermocline. OECM, yeah, we've got a lot of jamming, recon. I could really do it, putting a boot in their head, but they've got coverage. They've got a cap up there, those MiG-29s. And again, I don't really want to engage those unless I absolutely have to. So let's just see what coverage we've got in case we get attacked. We've got the two Harriers we saw. They've got AMRAAMs. We've got a whole shitload of AMRAAMs on him. Phantoms up with Sidewinders and Skyflash. What we'll do is we'll just pull that. What mission's he on? They're not on any mission. Ah, right. It's because I took them off. I took him off as well. What I'm going to do is move this a little bit closer now as well, get a bit more coverage. Come on, give me a break. Oh, come on, give me a break. Getting old, can't fucking click the button. Why can't I click his button? Oh, I give up. I want to try and turn him back into the patrol zone. Oh, somebody at the door. Right. Oh, I'm going to leave him to do his own thing. But we've got coverage up there, which is what that means. My sub hunter is still a bit of a way away. So let's see what's going to happen with these Sea Eagles. So the Sea Eagle, pretty unsuccessful with this missile to start with until I figured out how to use it. It flies in real low, relatively fast, in about 565 knots, so it's a pretty effective once it gets going, and it's got a really, you can launch it from, often you have to launch quite, the older weapon systems you have to launch them from quite a high range, high altitude and relatively close. This guy you can launch from 60 miles out, so it's pretty effective, and it's got a good hit ratio. So yeah, when I was a kid, I was always a favourite of this. This is always one of my favourites. There's always a really nice photograph of a book I've got of one of these seagulls hanging off the below a tornado. It just looked wicked. Right, what I can do now is slow that AWACS down slightly. Here we go. He's back on station, but what I'm going to do is move a bit closer, because every time we flew away I was losing tracks. Just checking there's nothing coming down here. Right, and as it is, that missile track I underestimated slightly. I was hoping it was going to be in front of it, but it's going to be slightly behind. That's okay, it's going to turn, it'll activate the radar, and then hopefully zoom straight in on the backside of it. The danger is if you put it past, if they've changed direction, and then of course it can't lock, it won't lock. Well, it doesn't normally anyway. There's probably a maximum turn radius, search radius that it will do. I'm not sure. Maybe you can program it, I don't know. My guess is this is a Serjames, which is an AA destroyer basically, and they tend to team up one Serjames with one submarine, anti-submarine specialist. I can't remember, the Udaloys they're called, and they're really dangerous against subs, and these guys are really dangerous against aircraft and missiles. So if I can knock this guy out, it's a good thing. And I need to find the Udaloy. That's probably the Udaloy. Bit of movement off these Su-33s. Possibly they've seen this guy. Maybe. Don't know. They might have seen the missiles, but I don't think so yet. Normally you'd have had launches now, surface-to-air missile launches. Like I said, they're coming in at 30 feet. If these guys aren't actively broadcasting, and as I said, normally the fleets would have helicopters supporting them. They'd have up like I do. I've got a chopper up here. Where is he? There he is. Just sit there with his little radar on, just to prevent this happening. Here we go. Moment of truth. This will be a bit of a coup if I can do this, because normally you have to really spend a long time clearing the defences before you get a chance to do this. Right, in theory, when they get to that point, they'll activate their radars and turn. It's how fast he can react between there and there. Didn't fucking activate in the right direction. God damn it. Shit. That was a misjudgment on my part. Alright, we'll have another crack. See if we can knock out this one. That's a pain in the ass. Trying to be too clever. I've done that before when they turned. I don't know why they didn't turn. It's a shame. Try not to be so bloody clever this time. Okay, where do you think he's going to be? So he's going to be about there. Oh, he's not even in range, that's why. Alright, so they're still engaging them, because obviously they're still a threat. So that was hit by an SAN-7. What should be coming off this guy here? Well, you know, if nothing else, he's wasted some ammunition as well. Be interesting to see how the air defense reacts, whether I get some activity coming from these guys or these guys. There do seem to be vectors on those. Nah, that's just cruising. I'd love to have a longer range SAM system. I could pop some tubes up, whatever these are, recons, jamming aircraft, I guess. I'm annoyed about that. Stupid. Normally I'd stop it, reload it, do it again, because it would have really annoyed me. I can't. I promised I wouldn't do that. Having him for fuel, let's just slow him down. Just make sure he's got enough fuel to complete this. And he's a little high. I don't know if these guys have got MAD sensors. Yeah, they have. They've got MAD sensors. Now, the MAD sensor is a magnetic anomaly detector. It's really good at picking up a sub that's just under the surface, and this guy seems to be a little deep, so we know he's under the layer. They launch shitloads of missiles at them to try and kill those eagles. So we need to make sure we're dropping our sensors below the layer. I haven't got many to use to pin him down, and I'm not sure how effective that MAD detector will be. We might have to go a little bit lower than 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet normally works when they're near the surface, but let's put it at, let's go 500 feet. Of course, the lower you get, the lower the radius of effect is, the radius of detection is, but equally I don't want him getting engaged by anything that's nasty up here. Let him do his job. It's one of those funny short Sunderland copies. Funny looking thing. Depending on what his radius is, I might be able to get one of these Buccaneers with a sidewinder to say hello. Oh, he's still going too fast. Just go watch my fuel on those guys. They've got pretty good legs, but I'm not launching straight away just to give the missile give the missile a little bit more of a chance to hit. And when they do manoeuvring, they tend to use fuel up, and they're less effective. There's actually there's some sort of sliding scale of less effective over the range. It's a penalty applied to it, I think. Let's get another couple of Buccaneers up. Bucks. These guys have got TV Martels. Range is too short on those, really. That gets him up and in the air. Definitely looks to be some movement of these guys. What you want to see is potentially see them turning around. If I see them turn, they're not on attack speed, so they're unlikely to be. They could have a patrol down here, I guess. These guys are probably. Maybe another carrier up there. I thought the carrier was here, but it might be. Right, let's get these on their way. sensible about this. I hope that works. Those guys probably will turn back to base now. Maybe, depends on what I've set them to. Yeah, they're RTP, great, fine. Although they're going to do something stupid in raise altitude. That's another really annoying thing. They'll zip out at a much higher altitude than they need to, and then you get a missile up the chuff. Let's just keep them nice and low. No point giving them away the position any more than we have to. If I can knock that out, like I said, that's a real coup. I'm just really annoyed about that one. Just going to plonk down. Why can't I drop a sonar boy? Options. Drop passive deep. I did press that key. Ah, maybe it's too high. Yeah, it's probably too high. I didn't know there was a maximum height you could drop these at. Why can't I drop it then? Drop passive sonar boy deep. Who knows? Mysteries of command. Okay, he seems to be in deeper water now. So let's put him in the layer. It's normally minus 180. This seems to work quite well for me. I think we'll do 200 this time. And we'll whack him up to full speed. And he shouldn't be cavitating. In fact, we'll go 24 because he's a long way away. It should help him get out there a bit quicker. And this guy's a little bit of a cheat in that he was part of the last mission, and he ended the last mission. He got to here. He killed, God, he killed the Kirov. He killed the Kirov's entire picket fleet, and then he knocked out the Kuznetsov, and he was just about to kill the Kiev, and then he took. I was being a bit eager at that point. He did actually end up taking a missile up the chuff, or a torpedo anyway. But I kind of finished the mission by then anyway. They were well past. I'd gone past the time, and it was really just trying to prove a point, see if I could do it. So I had him. So roleplay purposes, we've had him zip down over the last 24 hours back to Fazlane, get refitted, and he's out again. That's the theory anyway. Right, this guy's on a patrol now. Looks like the Lancers are ready. So I'm going to get them up, and they're going to lay some mines, and I'm going to try and work out the vector of these cruise ships coming in. So I'm going to mine this area here. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to create a new area. Like that. I'm going to square it off. deselect everything, just check what no other markers selected. Just select those. New mission, we're going to call it Lancer Minor. Mining, have it active, and then we're going to assign those B1Bs to it. I'm going to have them come in at 10,000 feet, and when they're on station 2,000 feet, have them coming on full speed. I want them to get in and get out quick. Sounds like the kids are home. Bugger. Right. Alright. I want to call it there then. And save it. I'll see you in the next episode.